In the mist-covered islands of Japan, a warrior class arose that would define an entire civilization's ideal of honor, discipline, and beauty in death. They were the samurai, and for 700 years they ruled Japan not merely with the sword, but with a code of conduct so demanding that many chose death over the slightest dishonor. Their story begins in the provinces, far from the imperial court in Kyoto, where mounted warriors guarded the estates of powerful nobles. By the 12th century, two great samurai clans dominated Japan. The Taira and the Minamoto had served the emperor as military muscle for generations, but their rivalry exploded into the Genpei War, a conflict of extraordinary brutality and poetry. In the final battle at Dan no Ura in 1185, fought on the waves of the inland sea, the Taira were utterly destroyed. Legend says the child Emperor Antoku drowned in the arms of his grandmother rather than be captured. Minamoto no Yoritomo established the first shogunate at Kamakura, and real power passed from the emperor to the warrior class forever. The samurai lived by Bushido, the way of the warrior, a code that demanded loyalty unto death, mastery of martial arts, and a constant awareness of mortality. A samurai was expected to be equally skilled with the brush and the sword, composing poetry one moment and cutting down enemies the next. The katana, the curved single-edged sword forged through a process of folding steel thousands of times, became the samurai's soul. To draw it was to commit to action, and to lose it was worse than death. In 1274, and again in 1281, the Mongol Empire under Kublai Khan sent massive invasion fleets against Japan. The samurai fought with individual courage against an enemy that used massed formations, exploding bombs, and poisoned arrows. Both times, typhoons destroyed the Mongol fleets, storms the Japanese called kamikaze, the divine wind. The samurai believed the gods themselves had defended Japan, and this conviction forged an unshakable belief in their island's sacred destiny. The Age of the Warring States, from 1467 to 1615, was the samurai's bloodiest and most legendary era. Japan fractured into dozens of rival domains, each ruled by a daimyo warlord, and the entire country became a battlefield. Three extraordinary leaders reunified Japan one after another. Oda Nobunaga, ruthless and visionary, crushed opposition with muskets and fire. Toyotomi Hideyoshi, a peasant who rose to become the most powerful man in Japan, completed what Nobunaga began. And Tokugawa Ieyasu, patient as stone, won the decisive battle of Sekigahara in 1600 and established a dynasty that would rule for 250 years of peace. Under the Tokugawa shogunate, the samurai transformed from battlefield warriors into educated administrators, scholars, and artists. Japan sealed itself from the outside world for over 2 centuries. The samurai studied Confucian philosophy, practiced calligraphy and the tea ceremony, and maintained their martial skills through rigorous training even as actual warfare became a distant memory. It was during this peaceful era that Bushido was most fully articulated, most famously in the text Hagakure, which declared that the way of the warrior is found in death. When American warships under Commodore Perry forced Japan open in 1853, the samurai world shattered. The young Emperor Meiji abolished the feudal system, banned the wearing of swords in public, and conscripted a modern army of commoners. Many samurai resisted. The Satsuma Rebellion of 1877, led by the great Seigo Takamori, was the last stand of the old warrior class against the modern world. Samurai charged with swords against Gatling guns and died in the thousands. The age of the samurai was over, but their ideals of duty, honor, and the beauty of impermanence had become inseparable from the Japanese soul, echoing through the centuries into the modern world.